Good morning. Well, that was an interesting introduction. I I've never had that happen before. I'm Reverend Ellen Rasmussen. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And it is my great joy to welcome you to Reflections with Pastor Ellen. And I'm getting a message that's not about that video from the restream. Sorry for the distraction. It is a great joy to be with you this morning. I I really missed you all during Holy Week, and we had such great plans to get together, but the best laid plans. So we got through it, and we're here, and it's the first Sunday after worship and or Easter, excuse me. And we're starting a brand new series that I'm so excited to share with you. Let's pause for a moment of prayer. Gracious and loving God, we give you thanks for the gift of this day and for the opportunity to bring honor, glory, and praise to you. Continue to pour out your Spirit upon us, helping us to open our hearts, minds, and souls to receive you this day. And may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be pleasing to you, O Lord, our rock and our redeemer. And together, the beloved, cherished children of God say, Amen. It is a great joy to be with you. We are in the Easter season. We are worshiping the risen Lord, the resurrected one. In this series, Draw the Circle Wide, it comes to us from Worship Design Studios with Marcia McFee. Thank you. On that first Easter, it was an astounding event, right? That sent ripples throughout human history. And as we gather together in this post-resurrection season, we will explore what it meant for the early church to draw the circle wide, draw it wider and wider, so wide that it includes us today. And this circle, this grew wider and wider because of the good news of Jesus Christ. The good news of liberation, of a fullness of life, of abundant life, not just for some, but for everyone. And we want to ask this question: what could it mean for us to continue to draw the circle wide in order to offer the world a vision of the rippling effects of grace and peace, reconciliation, and joy? What if we could offer? What is the vision of the rippling effects of grace and peace, reconciliation, and joy? Now, the scripture lesson that we're going to use today comes to us from the Gospel of Matthew, and it is from the Easter story. And I want to share with you from the People's Bible. It offers us a global perspective in the word. And so I'm going to read from the 28th chapter of Matthew, verses 1 through 10. After the Sabbath, as the first day of the week was dawning, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descending from heaven came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, his clothing white as snow. For fear of him, the guards shook and became like dead men. But the angel said to the women, Do not be afraid. I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, for he has been raised. As he said, come see the place where he lay, then go quickly and tell his disciples. He has been raised from the dead, and indeed he is going ahead of you to Galilee, and there you will see him. This is my message for you. So they left the tomb quickly with fear and great joy and ran to tell his disciples. Suddenly Jesus met them and said, "Greetings!" And they came to him, took hold of his feet, and worshiped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee. There they will see me." Do not be afraid. But how many times are we? How often are we afraid? How often do we hold ourselves back, afraid of new beginnings? And truth be told, it's often easier to deal with the chaos and the pain and the suffering that we know than it is to venture out into something new, because we have to learn to live again, right? In essence, we have to learn how to live in a new situation. And sometimes that can be really challenging. One of the things that drew me to this service, or to this series, Draw the Circle Wide, because of the song that you heard in the beginning, Draw the Circle Wide, by Mark Miller. The music is by Mark Miller. When I was ordained as an elder in the United Methodist Church, Mark Miller was the musician for the service. And as people were coming up to be consecrated, he was playing music that he felt called to by the Spirit. And several people remarked to me that as I was called forward, he was playing Draw the Circle Wide and Draw It Wider Still. And so when I saw this series and I saw that the song was connected to it indeed, I thought, oh, we got to do this. I hope it is a hallmark of my ministry that people feel that we keep growing the circle, we keep extending the table, that this is an amazing story of good news to share. Now, at my ordination, there are so many mixed emotions. There was joy and relief, a lot of relief, and excitement, but also a little anxiety, I think. My journey in the process was from inquiring to ordination was 12 years. It was a long journey filled with twists and turns. And here I was, and I started crying with joy and relief, and I'm told the bishops were crying, and my mentor said I had everybody crying on stage. And we had all been welcomed with Draw the Circle Wide. And as we finished, Mark played It As Well With My Soul. Drawing the circle wide doesn't happen by accident. It takes intentionality. It takes willingness. It takes vulnerability. And drawing the circle wide, we can feel fear. We can be fearful. Because when we reach out to each other and we grow our circle, we open ourselves to mutual transformation. At least that's the only way I know how to build beloved community, um, is to be willing to say, I am sacred and you are sacred. Together, we are something more. And that is sacred too. And I know who I am as a beloved, cherished child of God. And I believe that you are a beloved, cherished child of God. And I'm going to be changed by my relationship with you. And I hope you're changed by your relationship with me, because together we're something greater. And I believe God has brought us together. And so Easter, especially, while new every morning is your love, great God of light, right? And we get a chance as Christians, as disciples of Christ who believe in God's prevenient grace and sanctifying grace, that we can begin afresh, we can begin anew whenever we need to. But Easter has this rippling effect of new beginnings. And what new beginning would you like to have today? Jesus said to Mary, to the Marys, do not be afraid, but go. And on this most holy day in the Christian church, that is Easter Sunday, the message is not just about happy endings or finding and regaining something. The message is about a continued going and looking and searching for Jesus beyond the confines. The women go to the tomb to keep vigil, but discover in a series of dramatic happenings that he is not there. He has gone, he has risen and gone ahead of you. On this day, on Easter, when we praise the risen Jesus, we also need to remember that he is always inviting us not to conclusions, but to the next chapter. So we get to turn the page. And when we're turning the page, it's a fresh page, right? Um, and if we're looking at like a journal, the next page is going to be blank, but it's not really blank because there's space there. There may be lines, right? There's the texture of the paper. And when we turn that page, it's kind of built on all that has come before. And all that has come before us has brought us to this point in our life today. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the bold, the ugly. Where we are today is built upon where we've been. And we need not be afraid to venture forth into something new. Chances are we're going to have to let go of something that brought us to this point, celebrate it, and move on, or come to peace with it. But what new thing, what ripple effect do you want to have in your life and in the world? Be adventurous. Go. Look for Jesus. Jesus is calling you. Jesus is saying, come, learn, love, and together let's make an impact. Let's continue to transform the world in love and grace. I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me through email, pastorellen.bdumcwi@gmail.com. Got contact information on our Facebook page as well as website. What new beginning have you been considering? How is God calling you to interact with the world, with your community, with yourself? As we journey through this season of Easter and drawing the circle wide, what is your vision? What does a wider circle look like for you? I'd love to hear from you. I'm grateful for our time together. I'm grateful for your ongoing support of the transformative ministries at work in and through the people of Brown Deer United Methodist Church. And if you would like to support us financially, uh, we've got information to share.